Have you ever wondered why certain people seem to rise again and again, while others crumble under the weight of the same struggles? It's not always about intelligence, strength, or opportunity. There is something deeper at play. Hidden beneath the surface of your daily thoughts and decisions lies a powerful force, a silent engine that influences every moment of your life. It's called the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is not a fantasy or a vague concept. It is a scientifically supported, deeply impactful part of your mental system. While your conscious mind reasons, plans, and chooses, your subconscious mind silently records, remembers, and responds. And here's the astonishing truth. Nearly 95% of your behaviors, reactions, beliefs, and habits stem from your subconscious programming. That means most of what you do every day is not decided at the moment. It's been pre-decided by patterns hidden deep within. Think of your life as a movie. Your conscious mind is the actor on screen, but your subconscious is the director behind the scenes. It chooses the script, the scenes, and even how you react to challenges and joy. If the script it follows is one of fear, doubt, or pain, your life will reflect those themes. But if you change the script, if you feed your subconscious mind with strength, belief, and hope, it will begin to show those changes in your daily reality. This video is not just a motivational talk. It is a journey into yourself, into the mechanics of how your subconscious was programmed, how it shapes your thoughts and actions, and most importantly, how you can reprogram it to design the life you truly want. Whether you're struggling with self-doubt, trapped in negative habits, or just searching for your purpose, this journey can be your turning point. Because when you understand the power of your subconscious mind, you stop living by chance, and you start living by choice. The two minds, conscious and subconscious. Let's begin by understanding what the subconscious mind truly is, and how it differs from the conscious mind. Imagine your mind as an iceberg. The small portion you see above the surface is your conscious mind. This part of your brain is active when you are fully aware, when you're thinking, analyzing, deciding. It's logical, deliberate, and responsible for about 5% of your daily activities. But the massive chunk below the water, hidden from plain sight, is your subconscious mind. This is where your memories live, where your habits are born, and where your deepest beliefs are stored. It's the operating system that runs your life quietly in the background. The conscious mind is like the captain of a ship, giving directions. But the subconscious mind is the crew that actually turns the wheel, pulls the ropes, and keeps everything moving. If the crew isn't trained well, even the best captain can't reach the destination. That's why your conscious decisions often fail to stick, because your subconscious hasn't been convinced. Let's take a simple example. You decide to start waking up early. That's a conscious decision. But when the alarm rings at 5 a.m., your body resists. You hit snooze. Why? Because your subconscious is still programmed to prioritize comfort over discipline. It remembers the warmth of your bed and the pleasure of sleep, and it always wins unless reprogrammed. This explains why people often know what they should do, exercise, eat healthy, work hard, but still struggle to do it. Knowledge is not enough. Willpower is not enough. What truly drives change is the programming in your subconscious. Now think about your own life. How many habits, fears, or thoughts do you carry? Not because you chose them, but because they were repeated into your mind when you were too young to question. As a child, your subconscious was wide open. Every experience, every word from your parents or teachers was absorbed like a sponge. If someone said you were not smart, your subconscious stored it. If someone praised you, it stored that too. Over time, these messages became the blueprint for your life. If that blueprint was full of encouragement, you likely grew confident. If it was filled with criticism or neglect, you may now fight unseen battles within yourself. But here's the good news. You are not stuck with the mind you were given. Just as your subconscious was programmed by repetition and emotion in the past, it can be reprogrammed today. It's not easy, but it's possible. And it starts with understanding that your life is not only shaped by what happens to you, but by what you believe about yourself in response to those events. Childhood programming, where it all begins. The journey of subconscious programming begins early. So early, in fact, that you don't even realize it's happening. From birth to around age 7, a child's brain operates primarily in a theta brainwave state, which is like a deep state of hypnosis. In this stage, children absorb information directly into their subconscious mind without the filter of logic or reasoning. This is where beliefs are born and identities are shaped. During these impressionable years, every experience matters. Words spoken by parents, teachers, or even strangers have the power to leave lasting imprints. A child doesn't just hear, "You're not good enough." They become it. That phrase becomes part of their inner voice, the voice that will repeat itself again and again in adult life, whispering doubt at every opportunity. Example, take Maya, a brilliant girl with a love for drawing. At age 5, she proudly shows her drawing to a visiting uncle. He laughs and says, "This looks silly. You should play outside instead." He forgets his words the next minute, but Maya never does. That single comment plants a seed of self-doubt. As she grows, she starts hiding her drawings. She believes she's not talented. That belief grows roots, shaping her actions, her confidence, and eventually, her career choices. Maya might become an accountant, but every time she passes an art gallery, something inside her aches. That ache is the voice of the artist she buried, all because of one careless remark. This is how the subconscious works. It takes emotional experiences, especially those with strong feelings, and etches them deeply. And the more emotional the moment, the deeper the imprint. Pain, joy, fear, shame, these are the sculpting tools of the subconscious. But not all programming is negative. A parent who constantly says, "You can do anything," builds a child who believes in possibilities. A teacher who sees potential and says, "You're a natural leader," can awaken a sense of purpose in a shy student. These moments create strong, empowering patterns that serve as foundation for a confident life. You didn't choose most of your early programming. It was chosen for you by family, culture, environment, and experiences. But recognizing this truth is powerful. Because once you see that your present reactions, fears, or limitations often have roots in your childhood, you can begin to untangle them. You are not broken. You were simply programmed. And now that you are aware of it, you can begin the process of reprogramming. You can return to those beliefs one by one, question them, rewrite them, and replace them with something stronger. Identifying the hidden code. Before you can change your subconscious patterns, you must first become aware of them. This is the step most people skip, because subconscious beliefs are, by definition, hidden from plain view. They don't announce themselves. They live quietly in your reactions, your fears, your automatic thoughts. So how do you identify them? By paying attention to the patterns in your life. Look at the areas where you feel stuck, your relationships, your career, your health, or your sense of self-worth. Ask yourself, what are the repeated outcomes I keep experiencing, even when I try to do things differently? These repeated results are signs of deeper subconscious programs at work. For example, if you always find yourself sabotaging relationships just when they're getting serious, it's not bad luck. It may be a belief that you're not worthy of love. If every time you start a new project, you suddenly lose motivation, it might be a belief that you're destined to fail. These beliefs weren't consciously chosen, but they drive your actions all the same. Another method to uncover subconscious programming is through self-reflection. Begin journaling your emotional triggers. When someone says something that makes you angry, ashamed, or afraid, ask yourself, what am I believing about myself in this moment? The answer may lead you to an old belief that's still running your emotional software. Also, observe your language. Words like, I always mess up, I'm not good with money, I don't deserve better, are not just phrases, they are clues. Each one is like a breadcrumb, leading you back to the belief that created it. These statements aren't truths, they're programs, and any program can be rewritten. Meditation can also help. In silence, the noise of the conscious mind fades, and hidden thoughts can rise. Notice what comes up. Is there fear? Shame? A repeated memory from childhood? These are often the roots of your deepest programs. Bringing your subconscious beliefs into your conscious awareness is the first major act of power. Once a belief is seen, it can no longer control you from the shadows. You can face it, question it, and decide whether it still serves you. Reprogramming. The art of mental transformation. Once you've identified the limiting beliefs hidden within your subconscious mind, the next step is the most powerful one. Reprogramming. This isn't a quick fix magic trick, it's a process. But with consistency and emotion, it's entirely possible to replace old programs with new empowering beliefs that reflect the life you truly want to live. Reprogramming begins with intention. You must decide what new beliefs you want to plant. For example, I am worthy of love, I attract abundance, or I am capable and confident. These are not just affirmations, they are instructions to your subconscious. But like any good instruction, they must be repeated and felt. Emotion is the glue that seals a new belief. That's why simple repetition without emotion often fails. You have to feel your new belief as if it's already real. Visualization is a powerful tool here. Close your eyes and see yourself living your new truth. Feel the joy, confidence, and peace that comes with it. Example. Let's say you've discovered a subconscious belief that says, I will never be successful. You decide to replace it with, success flows to me effortlessly. Every morning, you spend 5 minutes visualizing yourself walking into a room with confidence, receiving praise for your work, feeling proud and powerful. You hold that feeling until it becomes familiar. With time, your subconscious begins to believe it. And when your subconscious believes it, your actions follow. Another technique is rewriting your inner dialogue. Catch the voice in your head when it says, I can't do this, and immediately replace it with, I'm learning how to succeed. Your brain listens, and the more often you correct it, the more natural the new voice becomes. Surrounding yourself with positivity also helps. Books, music, environments, and people influence your subconscious more than you think. What you absorb becomes part of your mental environment. Choose to feed your mind what you want to grow. Lastly, remember that change takes time. Your old beliefs were formed over years. Be patient and kind with yourself. If you skip a day, don't quit. If you slip into an old pattern, gently return. The subconscious learns through repetition and emotion. Keep feeding it love, confidence, strength, and it will transform. Repetition, the silent language of the subconscious. The subconscious mind doesn't learn like the conscious mind. It doesn't understand logic, debate, or complex reasoning. It understands repetition. Repetition is its language. The more often it hears, sees, or feels something, the more it accepts it as truth, regardless of whether that thing empowers or destroys you. This is both a danger and a blessing. Why? Because you can unintentionally repeat negative thoughts for years and become a prisoner of your mind. Or, you can intentionally repeat powerful truths and build a new reality, one thought at a time. Every day, you are repeating things. The question is, what are you repeating? Are you repeating fear, doubt, regret? Or are you repeating courage, belief, and possibility? Because repetition becomes memory, memory becomes belief, belief becomes identity, and identity becomes destiny. You are walking the path your mind has rehearsed most often. Let's understand how this really works. The subconscious doesn't argue with you. If you say, "I'm not good enough," again and again, even jokingly, it silently nods and takes note. If you say, "I'll never be rich," it marks it down like a command. If you say, "I can't speak in front of people," it doesn't stop to ask why. It simply responds, "Understood." And then it begins to make that belief real by shaping your emotions, your actions, and your choices around that one repeated message. But here's the good news. The same system can be reversed. If you start feeding your subconscious new, empowering ideas, daily, consistently, emotionally, it will accept those too. That's the incredible power of affirmations, daily mantras, mindful journaling, and habitual visualization. They're not just motivational practices. They're mental rituals that install a new operating system within your subconscious. Some people give up after a few days, saying, "It's not working." But think about it. If a tree grew for 10 years in one direction, you can't expect it to turn overnight. Your thoughts have grown in the soil of repetition. Now they must be rerouted. This takes time, patience, compassion, and above all, consistency. You don't need to spend hours every day. Even 5 to 10 minutes of focused repetition, morning and night, can shift the entire course of your mental programming. Right after waking and just before sleeping, your brain is most receptive. Your subconscious is wide open. That is the golden time to plant the seeds of transformation. What you say and feel in those moments becomes part of your internal script. And it's not just about saying positive things, it's about feeling them. Emotion is the ink that writes into your subconscious. So if you say, "I am confident," while truly feeling powerless, the message doesn't reach deep. But if you close your eyes, breathe, and recall a time you felt strong, and then say it again with belief, the message sticks. That's when change begins. Repeat the new thoughts until they become your inner truth, because eventually, what you repeat enough, you become. Repetition is not a trick. It is the slow, steady drumbeat of transformation. Emotion, the gateway to the subconscious. The subconscious mind doesn't respond to words alone. It listens to emotion. It pays attention to how you feel more than what you say. If repetition is the language, emotion is the intensity behind it. When you combine both, you unlock a deeper level of transformation. This is why certain memories stay with you for years, not because of what was said or done, but because of how deeply you felt in that moment. Emotion is the pen that writes your beliefs in bold ink. When you feel scared, your subconscious writes fear into your reality. When you feel joy, it writes confidence. When you feel pain, it carves insecurity. But when you feel power, it begins to rebuild you. That's how it works. It mirrors the energy you give it. Not the logic, not the grammar, the energy. This is why simply repeating affirmations like, "I am successful," isn't enough, unless you feel successful while saying it. Your feelings are the fuel. They're what drive your thoughts into the deeper layers of your mind. And here's the twist. You don't have to wait for external success to feel successful. You can generate that feeling inside you now. The subconscious doesn't care if it's real or imagined. It reacts to what you feel. Example. Take the story of Lila. She was an artist, passionate and talented, but deeply insecure. Every time someone complimented her, she smiled on the outside but crumbled on the inside. Why? Because deep down, her subconscious believed, "I'm not good enough." One day, a mentor told her, "You have to feel your way into the artist you want to become." Confused at first, she began a new practice. Every morning she closed her eyes and imagined walking into a gallery full of her art. She imagined the warm light, the smell of fresh paint, the sound of footsteps admiring her work. Most importantly, she imagined how it felt, the pride, the freedom, the peace. At first, it felt fake, but she did it every day, adding more emotion each time. Slowly, something shifted. Her shoulders stood taller. Her brushstrokes grew bolder. Today, her work is not only displayed in galleries, but in hearts, because she didn't wait for the world to validate her. She taught her subconscious how to feel worthy first, and the world followed. That's how it works. When you feel something repeatedly, your subconscious begins to believe it's true. Then it adjusts your behavior, your habits, and your perception to match that feeling. Suddenly, you're not acting like your past anymore. You're acting like your future. This is why emotional intensity is so important. Don't just say, "I am healing." Feel the relief of healing. Don't just say, "I am confident." Breathe like someone confident. Walk like them. Feel it in your skin. That emotion becomes your code. You can train your body to feel ahead of the event, and your subconscious will build your reality around it. The environment, feeding the subconscious with every breath. Your environment is not just the space around you. It is the energy that enters your mind when you're not paying attention. The sounds you hear, the people you spend time with, the media you consume, the conversations you listen to. Each of these leaves an invisible fingerprint on your subconscious. And over time, these fingerprints form the blueprint of your beliefs. Most people protect their wallets more than their minds. They guard their homes but leave their inner world wide open. They spend hours on news filled with fear, gossip soaked in negativity, and scrolling through images that whisper, "You're not enough." And then they wonder why their confidence is fading, why their dreams feel far, why they constantly feel exhausted from the inside out. The answer is simple. Their environment is programming their subconscious without permission. You must become intentional about what you allow into your world, because your subconscious mind is always listening, always observing, always recording. Ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind? Are the people I'm around lifting me or draining me? Do the voices I hear empower me or weaken me? The subconscious can't tell you to stop. It won't protest. It will simply absorb. That's why it's your responsibility to protect it. Begin with your physical space. Make it calm, inspiring, and clean. Your surroundings should breathe peace into your system. Add colors that uplift you. Hang words or quotes that remind you of who you are becoming. Light a candle not just for fragrance, but for focus. Your outer world should mirror the inner peace you are building. Then move to the emotional environment, your social circle. Some people are like sunlight. They bring warmth, clarity, and growth. Others are like shadows. They dim your light slowly. Your subconscious listens to their words more than you realize. If they constantly talk about failure, scarcity, fear, you will begin to carry those ideas as your own. Protect yourself. You don't have to cut everyone off, but you do need strong boundaries. Silence is a powerful filter. Lastly, filter your digital environment. The internet is a tool, but if left unchecked, it becomes a weapon of distraction and comparison. Follow people who inspire your growth. Unfollow those who plant seeds of self-doubt. Watch content that aligns with the identity you're building, not the fear you're trying to escape. Remember, your subconscious becomes what it hears, sees, and feels the most. So choose your inputs wisely. Fill your world with love, strength, possibility, and peace. And your subconscious will echo those things back into your actions. Guard your inner world like a sacred temple. Because in many ways it is. What enters, stays. What stays, shapes. And what shapes you, becomes you. Healing the past. Unlocking the subconscious prison. Your subconscious is a silent archive of every experience you've ever had, especially the ones that hurt. While the conscious mind may forget, the subconscious stores everything. The words that broke you, the betrayals that confused you, the moments that made you feel unsafe, unworthy, or unloved. And without you even realizing it, these buried experiences form invisible walls around your life. You try to move forward, but something pulls you back. You try to feel confident, but something whispers doubt. You try to love again, but your heart hesitates. This isn't weakness. This is your subconscious mind trying to protect you. It remembers the pain, and it will do anything to prevent it from happening again, even if that means keeping you small, silent, or stuck. But here's the truth. You are not your past. What happened may have shaped you, but it doesn't have to define you. Healing your subconscious isn't about erasing the past. It's about transforming your relationship with it. It's about going back, not to relive the pain, but to understand it and to release it. Example: a man named Rafiq grew up hearing one phrase from his father again and again: "You'll never amount to anything." He heard it during his school years, during meals, even on his birthday. As he grew older, Rafiq became a man who never finished anything. He would start businesses and leave them halfway. He avoided leadership. He feared success. On the outside, people called him lazy, but inside, he was carrying a voice that didn't belong to him. During a silent retreat, Rafiq meditated for the first time in years. In the stillness, that old voice returned, but this time he saw it clearly. It wasn't his voice, it was given to him. And now, he had a choice. He wrote a letter to his younger self, forgiving his father and releasing the lie. He read it out loud for 21 days, tears and all. Something changed, not instantly, but deeply. Today, Rafiq is a coach, helping young men break free from inherited shame. He didn't just escape the past, he transformed it into his power. This is how healing works. You must face the emotional residue that lives in your subconscious. Journaling, therapy, meditation, prayer, and inner child work are not luxuries. They are tools to excavate the wounds and let light in. When you heal the root, you change the fruit. Your subconscious isn't your enemy, it just hurt. And like any hurt part of you, it needs acknowledgement, not rejection. Once it feels safe, it will stop resisting your growth. It will stop holding you hostage to memories. And it will begin to serve the future you truly desire. When you heal what's beneath, you rise above what's in front. Let this be your reminder. The future is not built on denial. It is built on courage, the courage to look inward, feel the pain, and choose healing anyway. Visualization, painting. Reality in the mind first. What the mind can see clearly, the body can begin to believe. And what the body believes, the subconscious accepts as truth. This is the power of visualization, the ancient yet scientifically backed practice of imagining a desired outcome so vividly, so emotionally, that the subconscious mind begins to treat it as real. Most people think visualization is just positive thinking, but it's much more than that. It's mental rehearsal. It's a way of training the subconscious to become familiar with success, with peace, with healing, before any of it shows up physically. It's not about pretending. It's about preparing. The subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. If you close your eyes and imagine being chased, your heart will start racing. Your palms will sweat. Your breath will shorten. Why? Because your subconscious is responding to the image and feeling in your mind, not to reality. The same principle applies to success, love, freedom, and joy. If you visualize it with clarity and emotion, your subconscious will begin to rewire itself around that vision. Visualization works best when it is detailed and sensory. Don't just see yourself winning. Hear the applause. Feel the breeze on your skin. Smell the room you're in. Taste the moment. Bring the vision to life inside your mind like a movie scene, and more importantly, feel what it feels like to be there. That emotional charge is what activates your subconscious response. But here's the challenge. Most people visualize the wrong things. They rehearse failure in their mind. They imagine everything going wrong. They predict rejection, disappointment, embarrassment, and then they wonder why life feels heavy, why anxiety builds, why confidence disappears. The answer is simple. Your subconscious is being programmed by the wrong script. To break this cycle, you must become the director of your inner movie. Every morning and every night, those magical windows when your brain is most receptive, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and see yourself already living the life you want. See it again and again. Watch the scene until it becomes so familiar that it feels inevitable. This is not just wishful thinking, it's reconditioning. Do this consistently, and something powerful begins to happen. You'll find yourself taking actions that align with your vision without even trying. Your posture will shift, your choices will improve, your voice will change, not because you forced it, but because your subconscious has accepted the new identity as truth. Visualization is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. But remember, it's not a substitute for action, it's the fuel for it. It prepares your internal world so that your external world can align. Start painting your future in the canvas of your mind. Don't wait for the world to give you permission. See it, feel it, believe it, and your subconscious will begin moving you toward it in quiet, powerful ways. Repetition, the language. Your subconscious understands. If the subconscious mind is a garden, then repetition is the water. A single drop will not change the soil, but steady, consistent pouring, day after day, will make seeds grow, roots deepen, and new life emerge. This is the forgotten law of change. You become what you repeatedly tell yourself. The subconscious is not impressed by passion or intention. It listens to consistency. If you say an affirmation once, the conscious mind might nod, but the subconscious won't even blink. But if you say it every day, with belief and emotion, your subconscious begins to pay attention. Say it every morning, every night, through fear, through doubt, and something magical begins to happen. That statement, once just words, starts to become a program, a new instruction replacing the old. The truth is, your current self-beliefs were also built this way. Maybe someone told you repeatedly as a child that you were too slow, not smart enough, or not important. You didn't just hear those things, you absorbed them, not because they were true, but because they were repeated. Now, repetition must become your weapon for healing. Example: a woman named Elena had suffered from deep self-doubt for years. She had been told by teachers in childhood that she wasn't good at anything creative. That single sentence followed her into adulthood, echoing every time she tried to paint, sing, or write. But one day she came across a simple affirmation: "My creativity is a gift, and I share it with joy." Something about it resonated, so she began saying it aloud, every day. At first she felt silly, then slowly her tone changed. After 2 months of repetition, something shifted. She picked up her brush again. She joined an online art class. A year later, her painting was featured in a local gallery. She cried that day, not because of the recognition, but because she realized the truth. The mind will believe whatever it hears most often. So she gave it something beautiful to believe. This is how we change, not in a moment, but in many repeated moments. Repetition is the tool that builds neural pathways, emotional safety, and identity. The brain works on loops. Whatever you loop enough becomes your truth, good or bad. That's why you must guard your internal dialogue. What are you saying to yourself over and over? Is it helping you rise or keeping you small? If it's not serving your vision, it's time to rewrite the script. Write affirmations aligned with the future you. Say them with feeling. Say them when it feels fake. Say them when you want to quit. And one day, without warning, your subconscious will accept it as reality. Repetition is not boring. It is sacred. It's the rhythm of transformation, the melody of mental freedom. You already hold the key. You've made it this far, not just through words on a screen or a voice in your ears, but through a journey into the deepest, most powerful part of who you are, your subconscious mind. And now, you know the truth. It was never out there. The change, the strength, the clarity you've been searching for, it was inside you all along. Your subconscious is not your enemy. It's your most loyal servant. It doesn't argue. It doesn't judge. It simply responds to your beliefs, your feelings, your repeated thoughts. It builds your world based on the blueprint you hand it every single day. So ask yourself, what kind of blueprint have you been offering? Have you been feeding it fear or feeding it faith? Have you been repeating doubt or repeating dreams? The good news is this: it's never too late to rewrite the script. Your past doesn't define you. It only trained you, and now you get to retrain your mind. With intention, with love, with patience. You are not broken, you're programmable, and that means you're rebuildable. Start small. Choose better words when you speak to yourself. Become conscious of what you repeat, especially when you're tired, emotional, or alone. Visualize the life you want, not vaguely, but vividly. Make it feel real, and your subconscious will begin to create bridges toward it. Repeat affirmations like songs to your soul. Whisper gratitude into your nights. Train your inner world daily, and the outer world will follow. Yes, it will take time. Yes, it will feel strange at first. But transformation is never loud. It's quiet. It's steady. It starts with one thought, one choice, one belief, and builds, moment by moment, into a new life. You are not a prisoner of your mind. You are its master. And now you have the tools to reclaim that power. Don't wait for the perfect day to begin. Don't wait for others to believe in you. Don't wait for signs. This is the sign. This moment, this awareness. You now understand the machine behind your emotions, your habits, your identity. And that understanding is the beginning of freedom. Let the old beliefs fade. Let the doubts dissolve. You have something far more powerful than motivation. You have awareness, and awareness creates choice, and choice creates change. So go forward, not with fear, but with quiet confidence. Speak kindly to yourself. Dream unapologetically. Believe fiercely. And most of all, listen deeply to the whisper within. Because that whisper, that's your subconscious, and it's waiting to build the life you dare to imagine. Now, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and begin.